And welcome back to another Mayday Mayhem mystery. And today, this is a doozy. We will be talking about the Chicago Strangler. Now, I know it may sound like a movie or something, but no, this is an actual true thing that's going on in Chicago and has been going on since really all times. But right now, they've actually been looking at um, background data since 2018, and there shows that there is a serial killer or serial killers lurking in Chicago on the west side and the south side. Now, I am a native of Chicago, and I am familiar with, them telling certain girls, be careful, there's someone out here kidnapping girls, there's someone out here killing girls. And that's absolutely what has been going on for what they're saying has been the past 20 years. Since 2001, all the way up to now, 2021, there has been a serial killer, and we have at least 55 or more dead women. Now, a lot of times in Chicago, when we hear, "Oh, there is a woman's body found in an alley," or "there was a woman's body found in an abandoned building," "there was a woman's body found in a parking lot." They never really give specifics on what happened to the women, whether there was a heart attack, were they killed, did they fall and slip and harm themselves in that type of way. So so there has been a whole documentary about the Chicago Strangler, which you can look up on Discovery Plus, and we will be talking about that. Now, this probably is going to span at least 3 episodes. Now, first, I want to talk about Chicago, period. Now, if anyone knows who H. Holmes is, H. Holmes was one of the first serial killers in Chicago. He was one of the first serial killers in Chicago, H. Holmes. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And just so you know that this is a real thing, let me just show you the Chicago Strangler. That it is a real thing, and you can actually look it up. It is real, and you can actually look it up. They talk about, see, nickname given to American serial killer. So I'm going to leave that on the screen for you to see. Okay, you've seen. Now, I said it's a real thing. There is a real serial killer in Chicago. But like I said, let's go back to the beginning. Now, Chicago is known for a lot of things. We have Al Capone, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Um, but if you go back further, you will know about a man named H. Holmes, which is the murder house, which was on the south side of Chicago, located in the Inglewood area. Now, let me share with you about H. Holmes. I'm pulling it up, guys. Hold on. Should be coming up. Exactly. H. Holmes, the murder castle. In 1893, the World's Fair in Chicago, known at this time the Columbian Expedition. No, we not subscribing. But X wasn't that. No, we ain't doing that. Celebrating the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus' arrival to the Americans. So, of course, we know Blase Skippy, we had the World's Fair. We know we had the World's Fair, okay? Which was started around 1893, 1901. Okay. This is where H. Holmes comes in at. The event attracted more than 27 million visitors to Chicago, in an incredible number considering the limited transportation options of that time. Holmes took advantage of some of the many visitors to the city, including young women who came to Chicago for jobs at the fairgrounds. Now, as you can see, the murder castle, like I said, that is on the south side. As you can see, the murder castle is on the south side of Chicago. And that's the real thing. Like right now stands, if I'm not mistaken, there's a post office that stands there now over this site. But yes, we've in Chicago have been known for murdering people. Look, they say he has killed as many as 200 people. 200. I advise y'all all look this up. He fled, but he killed 200 people. Despite the arrest and execution, murders persist at more than a century. Serial killer bribe authorities to avoid punishment. I can believe that because there is also a conspiracy going on that actually H. Holmes was the Jack the Ripper from London, because it was like pretty much when the killings stopped in London, they started here in America, in especially at Chicago at the World's Fair. It said he's killed over 200 women. Now that's one man killing over 200 people. Now don't forget, let me let y'all know a little bit something about the murder house here in Chicago, where it was here. He had floors that were actually made to when you entrap people, you trap them and they can't get out. So some rooms were made like furnaces to burn people. Some rooms had trap doors. Some rooms suffocated people to death with gas. He had very torturous ways of killing people, because let's not remember, we're talking about the late 1800s, early 1900s. They didn't have Texan and MapQuest and GPS. When some people were gone on trips, they literally were gone for years at a time. They literally were gone. They'll say, "Hey, honey, I'm going to take a trip to Delaware with to see my mom." Literally, they were gone for maybe 6 months, and the trip may have taken them like 3 months to get there, 3 months to settle, and 3 months back. That's 9 months right there. So they've literally been gone a year. It's a story goes that one man, he didn't even know his wife and child was missing, and they actually were at the World's Fair. He had no idea they were missing until he literally looked up like maybe about a year and a half later and was like, they haven't came home. And he started to travel out and try to figure out what's going on, and actually found out that his wife and daughter could have been a victim of H.H. Holmes. So there are serial killers prominent here in Chicago. So let's get to the Chicago Strangler, shall we? Now, as I've been reading more and more on him and digging up and drudging up more and more on the Chicago Strangler, I have a few theories. We will get to that conclusion by the third series, but right now we're just getting to the meat and potatoes. Now, there has been over 55 women that have been strangled and left in either alleys, garbage cans, parking lots, snowbanks, um, and abandoned buildings, pretty much. Now, two of the victims that they believe is the Chicago Strangler, I absolutely believe that is not his MO. He had nothing to do with that, because one of the women that was murdered, her name was Teresa Bunn, and she was murdered in 2007. She was one of the only two women in this whole 20 years that was found burned in a garbage can. And not to mention, Teresa Bunn was 8 months pregnant. Now, of course, her family and everyone else have theories around what happened to her and whom killed her. And I honestly believe it was the boyfriend, to be honest. Not gonna lie, I really believe boyfriend or someone closer. I believe the Chicago Strangler or the serial killers that are lurking in Chicago did not do this crime. And yes, Teresa Bunn was strangled, and that's why they tried to classify her with that, but they had allegedly no more evidence to get for Teresa Bunn. So, with that being said, her murder was gone unsolved, but we pretty much know when you have a murder of a woman with that's pregnant or with children or expecting a pregnancy, they always seem to look at the baby daddy. So we have to take it at face value that that's probably what happened. Now, also, it was like I said, it was two women burned in the garbage can in 2007, only 24 hours apart. The second woman was Hazel Lewis. She was a mother of three and a grandmother. This all happened in 2007, literally across the park from Washington Park, the way it is. One end is where Teresa Bunn lost her life, and across the other end of the park is where Hazel Lewis lost her life. Now, the problem that I'm having with the classification of the victims is everyone wants to classify all of the victims as prostitutes or women of the night. And what I can see is like out of these 55 women, all of these women were not prostitutes, they were not on drugs, and it's discouraging and downright fucked up to think that every black woman that dies on the street, oh, she either was a prostitute or she either was getting some type of drug, or she either was, doing some type of deviant activity, versus it being that she was killed, murdered, or hurt. Black women, we are the least protected. we are the least cared about, and we are the least looked at. So, with Chicago being as big and as vast as it is, this serial killer is only attacking in the west side and south side in the predominantly black neighborhoods, where they pretty much know no one will care if a black girl or a black woman is found dead on the street. It would be a blurb in the newspaper. What was astonishing was going over the investigation, they was talking about Nancy Walker. She was victim number 13. Nancy Walker was victim number 13. She was killed in 2003. And I think it's real messed up that they try to classify her. Every woman was a prostitute. This woman was not a prostitute. She was outstanding member of society. She owned a salon. She was a property owner. She owned, and she didn't show up for lunch. She was even a dance teacher. She did not show up for lunch. And on Monday with her sister, and they called and let them know that something was wrong. 911. They didn't find her body until March. Now, she went missing in January of 2003. Here, of course, in Chicago in January, it's extremely fucking cold here. You know, we call it that Jesse Smollett weather. It's cold that you be lying about a motherfucking tuna sandwich. I'm just saying. I hate to say it, but it was true. Y'all know it. But during this time, Lacey Peterson went missing. And I remember Lacey Peterson being plastered across every TV, everywhere, every nation board, everywhere. But you heard nothing, absolutely nothing about Nancy Walker. And the way she was found was also, I don't believe, an MO of this Chicago Strangler. She was found dismembered, but they can tell she was strangled. Now, with her being a successful woman and a successful property owner, I want to look into the business associates, anyone she had meetings with, because she was dismembered and found in March in the abandoned building. So, of course, it was cold. It's just astonishing. They even had a dump site, which was nationwide news, where anything and everything that you did not want in Chicago, you could take and go and dump in this dump site. You actually could. It was actually a place on the near west side. And they finally cleaned it up. And when they cleaned it up, they found 7 dead bodies, 7 dead women. Now, that was just at a random cleanup site. How many women really are coming up missing? And of course, it's not being reported. It's not being said anything. And if they do come up missing, they're classifying them as prostitutes. These women were not prostitutes. These women were outstanding citizens. And even if they were prostitutes, that doesn't give you a right to take anyone's life. None whatsoever. So, at that time, they said nothing, Gwendolyn Williams, she was another victim of the this strangler. Now, she was killed in 2002, but she was found in an alley. And like I said, they classify every black woman as a crackhead, a whore, a slut, a prostitute. And this woman, yet again, was not a prostitute. And it's very messed up to even degrade these women to the level where you are calling them prostitutes because they come up missing. And like I said, I have a theory, and we're going to get to the theory by the end of the third one. And I have, of course, you're saying it also. Now, Now with Gwendolyn Williams, hers is different because they actually have a person in jail in another state that came up. Gwendolyn Williams had DNA on her under her nails, and it they actually got a hit in CODIS. If you don't know what CODIS is the nationwide search to where they run your DNA. If it pops up anywhere in the United States under any case, abduction or crime is going to pop up. If you've been in jail, they take your DNA and they run it in CODIS to see if you are associated with any other crimes or anything of that nature. And they actually did this, and DNA was found. And the man was living in Florida, homeless. And he denied he saw her or anything with her. But he was a small time robbery and fraud in Detroit. That's what he was pretty much known for. But the issue with that is Kim Foxx denied his extradition from Miami to Chicago because of a technicality of a case where Escort versus Illinois, where a man was found guilty of a crime of killing a woman because his DNA was found on her. He later appealed and said, yeah, I had sex with her, but that doesn't mean I killed her. So they had to overturn the verdict because that is true. Just because you have sex or contact with a person does not mean you can prove that I killed them. So they had to eventually let him go. And Kim Foxx did not want to extradite him due to that case, saying that, yeah, we may have found the DNA on him, on her, but it doesn't mean he killed her. And it seems yet again as though they're trying to make it seem like she was a prostitute and no one cared about her and things of this nature. And it's farthest from the truth. She had a loving family. She was a loving big sister. She was a fabulous mama, aunt. And for her to be treated as though she's nothing and you not even extradite, at least try. At least try. You don't extradite them, at least try. And that's where you have a failure from the community to even want to try to speak with the police, because we have these things happening in our community now. There are Black girls coming up missing and dead, and no one does anything about them. We go to the police does nothing. Do you know Chicago has the highest percentage of unsolved crimes with Black and Hispanic women's death, where other parts of the United States are closing those gaps? Our gaps are widening. And no one understands why. Well, because of course the citizens don't want to talk to the police because they truly understand and know that the police do not care. The police is going to overlook them and think that they're just trash. Versus if it was a white girl, they would be posting, looking under every bed in every house looking for her. But you don't do it for the Black children that's missing, the Black boys that's missing, the Black women and men that's missing and been later found dead after families have reported them missing. Families have reported these people missing, and then the police would say, well, maybe they're with a friend or maybe they went out for the weekend, and the families are telling them, no, she's not that type of girl or he's not that type of person. And then a little bit later, you find their deceased body in a building or in the alley or some horrific way in an area. And the police is like, well, oh my God, we have a murder. Well, we tried to tell you that this is out of this person's character and you didn't listen. So we really have to look at that situation on the breakdown from the community. And that's because we don't see any effort in helping to find our children. No effort whatsoever. No effort help finding who killed these women. None whatsoever. So we have to somehow change this. And the only way to change it is the police have to actually do the fucking job and listen when we are telling them that this is out of character. No, this person will call me just like myself. I am a creature of habit. I am a creature of habit. My family can time me to the second. Like, she said she was going to the gas station. Oh, she'll be back in 7 minutes. No matter what's going on, back in 7 minutes. Huh, she been gone 10 minutes. You must have been talking down there. Yeah, I saw Hermes down there and we was talking. So yes, of course. But you can time me. If I say I'm going to the dispensary and going to get, if I say I'm going to the dispensary, they know exactly how long it's going to take me to get there and how long it's going to take me to get back, and they can time me to it, depending on which one I go to. You know what I'm saying? I frequent dispensaries. Make sure you check out my weed needs video. One will be uploaded tomorrow. So I just want to say, we're going to take this step by step, and we're going to look at everything, because they have analysts that says it's one or more serial killers. At least one of them is white, and two or more could be African American. So we're going to take a look at it. We're going to go through some notes and look at this case and try to figure out what the fuck, like, how is the killer running around and no one knows and no one can stop this? So we're going to end this episode for today. I'm going to end my episodes the way I end all my other broadcasts. If no one told you they love you, I do. I truly, truly do. Make sure you do better today than you did yesterday and strive for a better tomorrow today. Please be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. I don't care if he fine as hell. Girl, get away from him. Boy, get away from him. Yeah, hey, yo, we don't know each other, especially COVID. Motherfuckers got masks and sis and shit on. So we really can't tell what the fuck's going on. But for real, everyone, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay aware, and I'll see y'all next time.